kings and queens. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your sister, Kathy Yvette, and I am here to get into a recap and review of our picture sisters. We are not going to waste no time because this was a fiery one this week. Now, I can't wait to the next episode. I want to see what's going down. Before we get into it, if this is your first time, please like, comment, bring your friends in. Let's chit chat about the current episode, what you think about what's going to happen in the coming weeks, and also subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. We like to have a good time here for the grown, for the fabulous and amazing. And I want you to just come in here and have a good time. Kiki a little bit, also learn, dialogue, educate one another, give each other tips, because a lot of these shows have to do with relationships. And so we just want to get into that as we talk about the show. We want to learn maybe and share some about our little personal situations that we can relate to in some of these characters, right? So let's hop on in here. So got my little notes. Now we're going to jump in and talk about what happened when we left off last week, and that was Bio and Sabrina. Now we know that they had a little conversation about this money situation, which I was not comfortable, right along with Dani, with her asking $1 million from a man who really wants to just get to know her, and she hasn't been around for a while. He understands now because she shared what happened with getting arrested at the bank, and this bad person that came along that also got involved with Maurice. So one of the things that Sabrina took her back a little bit, because he said, well, from where I'm from in my country, you said, he was liking this man, he was with this man, and in my country, that's not, something that we like. That's not favored. So Sabrina thought he was homophobic, and he said, no, that's not what I'm talking about. You said that Maurice was involved with this man who robbed the bank, so this is not a good person he's involved in. And he asked her, how do you know, he's not going to run or something's going to happen, and I'm indebted with all this money. I may be a prince, but, I don't know you like that. I definitely don't know him. This is something that just started with them. So it's kind of a bold move on Sabrina and trying to ask somebody that she don't know. So give me your comments on that. Like, would you have done something like that if you had a friend that you were close to, and this situation occurred with someone that you warned them about, and now you feeling bad? Would you feel this bad to, ask people that you really not that close with, or real close friends or family, for money like this, of this magnitude? I know I wouldn't, and I don't know why Sabrina feels she's so indebted with Maurice for that, and Maurice has attitude like it's her fault to get him out of this situation when she was the one involved with Q. But I think she's pushing so hard because she knows the prosecutor, and she also doesn't know what's going to happen or what he is going to do if he's pressed too hard and gets too scared. She's really uncertain that he may flip on her, and the people will be coming right back for her, and she'll be right in the belly of the beast for about 30 years. So I think that's another reason why she wants to get Maurice out, because it's kind of like her fate is in his hands. But she doesn't have $1 million. So what y'all need to get to when it's all said and done is what? I heard somebody say it out there. I heard somebody say it. And that's get Q. Gots to get Q to confess to something. And the prosecutors put him back in there knowing that this was a lie and setup, so he can be in there instead of Maurice and Sabrina. Plain and simple. So he's leaving and said, I'm sorry, I couldn't help you. I know Sabrina was hurt by the situation. She should have been a little embarrassed because that was a long shot. But I hope she really does understand. So he's leaving. Calvin's coming in with his little attitude, but get over it, Calvin. That's her friend. So, and then they basically just chatting about how they're worried. They got to do something. They really don't know now when it comes to the money, because they have nowhere near the cash. So now, briefly, Robin and Andi are leaving work, and, he asks her yet again, he really likes her. And I wish Andi would stop and get his man a chance. You know, she didn't want to go out to dinner with him, you know, even though, and I believe he brought this up, like, you know, even after that, you know, 1.5 million or whatever favor that he did for her, I can't get a break as far as dinner. Come on now. Like we said last week, you've given Gary 1,000,001 chances, and now all of a sudden you can't go to dinner with this man. So she agreed to a drink. She can do that with a little smile, like she's doing him a favor. Girl, this man just coughed up a lot of money for your friend, and he's your boss, and you sitting up there sleeping with the man who's trying to take his company away from him. That is crazy, if you ask me. Totally crazy. But she act like she's doing him a favor or whatever by going out for a drink. You need to watch it, Andi, because you're dead wrong on that one. So that was that. Now Dani comes home from work. She smells the food. You know, I think she comes in because she's feeling some kind of way with this whole marriage situation, and then having to turn him down again. And Preston, you have to get it through your thick skull, boo. You know, and this is the part I think that frustrates Dani, that you have to understand where she's coming from. Don't say, why you can't love me the way I love you. Marry me, marry me. That's not the answer. That's not the answer out of everything that you guys been through. How tense your relationship has been. You trying to get to know her. She really, you know, has not been in this interracial relationship situation before. It's your first time. It's a lot, Preston. Give her time. Say, okay, I understand what you're coming from. Let us continue to get to know one another. No pressure on the marriage. I understand that. You know, come on back home or get your old spot back. Not threatening her with going back to your ex. And she said it, like, why are you going back? He's saying it's nothing out here in these streets. You know, that doesn't mean let's get married, because there's nothing else left out there. If she's the one that you want, Preston, then you have to just prove that to her. Be understanding. Stop being a goofball about this. I want to see you two together, but at the same time, don't pressure her with the marriage when you really don't know this woman and she doesn't know you. And marriage is only going to, you want to hold on to her. And she sees it as a control mechanism, and I don't blame her, because you don't know me enough to just want to marry me. What's the point? You know, Dani is still going to be Dani, so this is something that's going to have to be a gradual process. She loves this man. She really doesn't want him to see him go and marry anyone else, and she even told him that, and I'm glad she did. You know, I don't want you to make a decision for something that you don't want. And he said, she's not you, Dani. I really don't want her. Then don't even let that be an option when it comes to marrying her, because your friend thinks she's a nice girl, or you don't think there's nothing else out there between Dani or your ex. Come on now, Preston. That's not right. So just chill. Don't go nowhere, and just take it step by step, because I really want you to be there for her. Dani really, doesn't think straight. When she under that pressure, she either gonna smoke herself to death, drink herself to death, or go out there and do something promiscuous. And I'm glad that that Andi spoke to her and let her know the situation and said, do not do anything like you did before. You know that situation with that other man coming into your apartment. You got to stop bringing these strays to your house. Stop it, Dani. So they went through that talk. He says he's going back home, whatever. And then when he went to go hug her, she pulled in, and it took everything for her not. I saw that waterfall wanted to come out. Dani wanted so much for him to hold her. She's scared for him to leave and make a rash decision, because she does love him. But she doesn't want to do it like this. She loves you, Preston. Just give it some time. She really does. But I felt that from her. And I like the mature conversation that Dani is having, more so than the previous seasons. I see her growth. I see how that past situation with that guy, it did shake her up a little bit. I think she's really starting to come into her feelings more for Preston. And now it's like a shock as to how to handle it, now that she knows there's another woman in the picture. So, what do you think about that whole situation with Dani? I want to hear your feedback on that with her and Preston. Now, Zach goes to Karen's shop because, of course, last week, you know, he was pissed off. He left. He thinks Karen playing games. She set this whole thing up. She's not answering her phone. So he goes by the shop, asks Pam. Pam like, she's out. I don't know where she is. He don't believe her. She like, whatever. He calls her Karen from the shop, knowing Karen gonna pick up because she think it's a situation or something wrong with, you know, how she babies Pam. She answers the phone. He was like, where you at? Stay there. She tells him the restaurant, don't go nowhere. I'm coming. I need to talk to you. Pissed. So she knows there's something going on. She don't quite know what it is. I truly don't think Karen was the one that was behind that. And so now Aaron sees that something's going on with her. She was like, it's nothing. They proceed to order the food, but he's looking at her like, what's going on? And then she tells him that that's Zach, and he may be coming here to the restaurant. So she's like, okay. He's like, why? He was like, she was like, I don't know. You know, basically, we'll see. So we saw how that went. Now, Dani's confused with her situation, with her feelings for, like I said before, with Preston. So she called Andi. Andi gave her advice like, wow, you know, he asked you to marry him. That's a little crazy because, you know, that's really quick. But she says, I'm trying to keep myself from doing anything crazy because really she just wants to screw somebody and like get her mind off of him. But that's not the answer, Dani. That's not the answer. And I'm glad Andi told her that don't do nothing harsh. So she said, I'm going to go over by Sabrina's. I'm like, thank God. Please don't call Q. Please don't call Q. You don't need that kind of headache. So she goes, she gets ready and said, okay, and goes on to call him. Now, Karen is, runs into Andi at the restaurant, and she explains to her, you know, oh, what you doing here? You know, she thinks she's in on this whole situation because her and Fatima are friends on what's wrong with Zach. Andi don't know what's going on. She said, no, I did not know you was here. I'm here having drinks with Robin. She's like, oh, your boss that you don't want to do it. Yeah, you know, it's a thank you or whatever for the help he did with getting Sabrina out. So we're having drinks. I really don't know what Zach wants or what's going on. She was like, okay, well, I guess she's just going to see. So they have that conversation. She goes back. Robin goes back. Now Andi gets a call. Her and Robin are chatting it up. He's trying to talk her into having more than a drink. He wants her to stay a little longer, have some dinner. She was like, just the drinks. She said, I got to get this call. Finds out it's Fatima. But we saw how that went. Fatima tells her about, you know, a little situation. Zach, you know, how he's gone looking for Karen. Now she's starting to be like, oh boy, you know. Karen's questioning her. Now Fatima's questioning. She's like, yo, everybody's questioning me, and I really legit don't know what's going on because Fatima probably like, you tell Karen something. What does Karen know? Zach want to see her. It's crazy. So she's like, no, I literally don't. And that's basically it. Andi doesn't have any answers from her. Of course, she knows that Zach is on his way down to the restaurant because she just ran into Karen. So everybody's like, what is Zach gonna do? So now Fatima and Angela is talking. So Fatima is like, what you think going on? What did you tell him? This is the chick I think is behind that mess. I'm sorry. I cannot stomach Angela. I think she's messy. She's grimy. I think she's low-key jealous of Fatima. Her and Melinda both, I think they are poor friends. But when you've been with friends, get into a whole lot of mess back in college, those your girls, you sometimes don't see when you're up close in that mess just really how much of a friend they really are. But I don't like her no more. I don't like Angela. I think she's behind that, or she got messy friends who like bringing her mess that she brings to Fatima, and all this hell gonna break loose, and her man could possibly go to jail behind Angela's foolishness. So we'll see. But anyway, they talking. First she was gonna stay there and wait and chill and let him handle it, but then she realized she probably need to go down to that restaurant and see what her man is getting into. Yeah, you need to be there to stop that. Next week it doesn't look like it's gonna be too good with their communication, but it doesn't look like he's in jail. which I'm praying for. I don't know. This can go, the owners of this restaurant can call the cops. It can go real crazy. I don't think that's something Aaron want to do to his girlfriend's baby daddy. But I don't know. I can't wait to see how that's going to turn up. But it's not looking too good when it comes to Zach and Fatima. Now, she leaves, and of course, Angela like, I'm coming with you, because her messy behind got to go running behind her every chance you get. Well, like, close up the tatas a little bit. Maybe that's keeping you from being so messy, because those bad boys always trying to jump out. So Angela, put the puppies back up in the house, okay? And mind your business and stop being so freaking messy. I'm just saying. Now, Maurice calls, of course, with all this attitude, talking smack, calling the B word all out your face, which is annoying to me, because for somebody who is the only person who can try to get you some help, you need to humble yourself, Maurice. Humble yourself, like I said last week, because you're doing too much. You need to sit back and think about this mess with Q and find a way to devise a plan or something or suggest what you can do to get Q in there, because he's the key to the whole problem. Or everybody's thinking about getting out on $1 million bond or helping, but at the same time, nobody's thinking about handling the person who is in this mess. And will somebody please tell Dani she's messing with the enemy? Yet another week again, when Dani's over Sabrina's house and they're talking, and she's still not bringing up this guy's name. Like, I can't believe he's doing this. I can't believe that he would do this. Not saying Q, not saying Quincy, not saying a name. This mystery man who did this to Maurice, like he has no name. All you got to do is say Q, and that might spark something in Dani. Dani's she quick with stuff like Q, like what does Q stand for? Name Quincy, and I think certain things will start. What does he look like? That will bring answers and questions. Oh, I know a Quincy who's on a bracelet, who's working, who don't care to be fired, who, telling me X, Y, and Z, that works on my job. Oh, stop by my job and, stop there. She ain't working right now, Sabrina. Come to my job and you can run into this man and see him. Because if she lays eyes on him, she is going to flip. And then he'll know that they're friends, which I really don't want him to know. I want it to come out, but I don't want Sabrina to mess it up where Dani won't be able to work on a plan to, like, set him up. So, because if it gets too crazy and she just bursts out and attacks Q at the airport or whatever, if she comes there and sees Dani, that may be a problem. And I don't know how really you're going to be able to come and visit Dani on the job anyway without going through TSA and having a ticket to travel. So, I don't think that'll ever happen on the job per se. But she has to mention Quincy's name, because we got to get a plan together. Nobody ain't got no $1 million. Nobody got $1 million. Okay, so she's stressing. Dani's basically telling Sabrina, this is not your problem. You so nice. You always trying to help somebody, but this is not your problem. Don't worry about it. There's nothing you can do. She's like, give me a hit of that smoke. She was like, girl, I can help you with that. She going that bad. I can't help you with that. So got my girl Sabrina all stressing, smoking right along with Dani drunk and high. But they just both going through the drama. It's not over with Sabrina. It's not over. The prosecutor's going to be after her, even though Andi said it's a weak case. It's a weak case, but what are we going to do? What are you going to do at this point? We got to get Q. We got to get Q in jail. So that's the only way. We got to set Q up with all this mess, because Quincy is not, there's not any deal in the world that he can't go back to jail. As long as they say that was a lie, what he said that kept him out, he'll go back in. Period. Case off. So now Zach gets to the restaurant and he steps to her and said, why you always messing up? Why you always into some? I know you was behind them pictures. What pictures? What are you talking about, Zach? She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And of course now he got to go back and forth between Aaron and Karen, because he ain't going to shut up. Don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me, my dude. I'm telling you, I'm 5 seconds off you. He can't stand Aaron. But what you expect? that's his lady. He gonna stand up for her like you would Fatima, Zach. So I mean, come on, you should understand as a man. But you coming off with her all aggressive now. You making this scene in a restaurant. I know you heated, but take a breather right now. If you know Karen, you should be able to talk to Karen and know if she's lying or if she's telling the truth. You've been with the woman 3 years. You should pick up on these things. But he's so heated because it's like, you always doing something. I got this baby I'm dealing with you now, and you in my relationship again. So all he could see is red right now with Karen. But my thing is, you put your hands on her. It's one thing, she don't know what you're talking about. Then she wants to leave, but you said you ain't going nowhere. And you kind of like shoved her back and touched her. And that's when Aaron blew. That's when he blew up and the fight ensued. So it's like, come on, Zach. You're going to have to chill with that. So I don't know. I think Andi probably going to hear from the back and come out with Robin. You know, he and attorney, they going to probably get in the calm this down so the owner won't call the cops or whatever. Fatima's going to wind up coming in with busybody, troublemaker who's probably behind all this mess. They're going to come in. It's going to be this whole big thing. And I think that's going to pretty much break up the fight. But it's a bad situation. We don't know. Cops still may have been called. I don't know. I can't wait. Total drama and chaos. Who you think is behind this whole picture mess? Put in the comments. Please share. You think it's really Karen? Do you think it's really Angela? Or is it some friend or somebody else? I don't know. But we need to find out next episode. So thank you so much, fam, again for stopping by. Don't forget to click subscribe. Remember, you are amazing. Stay authentically you. You only get one life to live. So live the life you deserve. Until next time.